Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all honor, praise, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chakadash.
Double honor to our apostles and elders, great millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect, pushing this true doctrine across the four winds of the earth in all truth and sincerity. On Lamar Dariyah, and to my left,
Mafia.
and through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we're going to do a quick lesson, and this Lord willing is edified. And we're going to go into pretty much how the Lord give wisdom, man. And all you got to do is sincerely ask and pray for it, and you can have an increase, man, in this truth. But you have to be certain and steadfast in asking for that, man, and not wavering, and know what you're asking for, and the Lord is going to give it, man. So we're going to go into the scriptures, and like I say, through the spirit, Lord willing, this is going to be edified. You got it, bro.
This is James 1, verse 5. It says, "If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall not be given him."
So if you're lacking wisdom, you know, if you don't have particular understandings of the truth, man, of the scriptures, you know, if you feel like you're not growing in this truth, man, hey, the Lord giveth all. So all you have to do is pray to the Lord to give you wisdom, give you understanding, so that you may be a good servant, man, and do his will. You know what I'm saying? And that wisdom goes into also knowing how to move, how to conduct yourself in this truth, man. Knowing how to avoid particular situations, knowing how to conduct yourself as a man of the Lord, man, as Yahushua would. You know, to walk in the ways of righteousness. You know, all these things fall under that umbrella of wisdom. But you have to sincerely pray and ask for it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got it, bro.
It says, "But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with a wind and toss."
And if you don't believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you can't have faith. And if you don't have faith, there's no point of asking, man, because you're not going to believe that it's going to happen, because you don't believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And that faith is a gift, man. The scriptures go into faith is the substance of thing hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to believe in the power that you don't physically see, but through your spirit know exists.
That's
to
right.
Ask for wisdom, man. And if you lack in faith, you need to pray for more faith, man. You know, because faith is that like a beacon of light, man, for us, man. Because that faith is what's going to draw us to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because our belief that we have hope in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that the words that are spoken in the scriptures, man, from the teachings of our apostles and elders on down, hey, that we're going to be delivered, man. But you got to have that faith in it, man.
That's right. I wanted to pull up that where it says wavering. What it says, "But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering." So when you go in that word wavering in Strong's G1252 is diakrino. All right, that's diakrino, and it goes into to separate, make a distinction, discriminate, to prefer. All right. So it says to learn by discrimination, to try and decide. All right, so you still wavering, trying to decide what you want to, you know, if I believe, do I have that faith, do I not? That's something that you basically are going to get wisdom with hell, because you're not basically having that sound mind.
Right.
All right, if you don't have that sound mind, then it's not going to, it's what is that sound mind going into? Being stable. All right, when you're not wavering, you're stable. You're you know what I'm saying, rooted.
Right.
What is that going into? Colossians says, "Rooted and built up in them, you receive those roots." Like it says in Mark 4, you when the stony ground and the seeds, you know, that parable. Some fell on the stony ground. Yeah. Some fell on the
soil.
Yeah, the soil. Some fell on the
thorns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some were scorched by the sun.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you basically get on that good solid ground, then what, you're not wavering anymore. All right. So that's what it's going into. Like I say, that that, what is, read it again, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. So you have faith and you believe. As you just quoted, Hebrews 11, faith is seen to hope for things that are unseen. You don't see it, but you have that faith. But when you have that faith and keep and staying that and staying grounded, it's going to do what? You're going to basically start seeing the things, all right, spiritually. You know, may not see it, like you say, through the carnal aspect of it, but you see it spiritually. Like we've seen the downfall of America before our eyes, and that is a spiritual aspect of thing that we see, that we're not now starting to see manifest. All right. So I'll read that again. It says, James 1:5, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask the Yahweh Shem Yahushua that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. All right. And what is that? Matthew 7:7, ask of me and thou shalt receive. All right. So if you kind of roughly paraphrasing that, but the Lord said, if you ask of him, you shall receive it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta keep going on.
Come. This is back in 1 James 1:6. It says, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavers is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed.
Like you was going into, unstable, not sure. You thinking, but you ain't sure. It's like you are in the, how they used to play double dutch. You know, you're not sure if you're ready to jump in yet because you might get tangled up. But you can't do that, man, through the Spirit, man. If you want some increase, man, you have to be sure that's what you want. You got to know that you're willing to do the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and you want the increase so you can be that faithful servant, man. Mm-hmm. That profitable servant. You know, that servant who's, you know what I'm saying, carrying his cross. Yeah. Doing what's necessary that you may receive salvation, man, and doing the thing that's pleasing to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But if you're not sure about that, if you got one foot ready to get in the truth, but you got your other foot turned back, ready to go back in the world, because you ain't sure this is what you really want to do, that's going to be a problem, man. Mm-hmm. And the Lord is not trying to hear that because you're unstable. You don't know if you want to do this work or you want to be in the world. You don't know if you want wisdom or you want to still behave foolishly. You know? Mm-hmm. You have to be fully persuaded in your own mind. And when you're fully persuaded in your own mind, you all in, man. You putting all the chips on the table and you letting the Lord, you know what I'm saying, take the wheels. Let him do as he will with you, man.
That's right.
You got it, bro.
It says, verse 7, for let not that man think that he shall receive anything of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
The Lord is not dealing with men uncertain, man. Men who not sure about their faith. Men not sure about this walk. You know, the Lord looking for men who's rooted, who believe, who have faith, man, and who's willing to make their bodies a living sacrifice in this truth. You know, those who ready to stand boldly for the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, and when you have wisdom, you have understanding, knowledge, you know that you're going to be good, man. Because the scriptures, man, it guides us. It shows us. It's that path of righteousness, man. The teachings of the apostles and elders on down guides us through the Spirit. So when you have that wisdom, you know what I'm saying, when you have the understanding knowledge, you move different. And you're not worried about the outcome. You know what I'm saying? You ain't worried if you probably should or shouldn't. Right. You're going to be in the Spirit, man. And you're going to let the Lord work through you. And you're just going to do what you need to do, man. Mm-hmm. Not wavering, not being uncertain, man. This truth, man, this walk, you have to know that he is, man. And believe that the Lord is going to take care of us, as he said in the scriptures, man. Right. And that's a part of having wisdom and understanding, man, and faith.
Mm-hmm. It says,
that's it. You can, was it done now? I'm saying you probably go and,
yeah, that was
if you finna bring out something over there.
You know what? We're going into, I'll bring it out. Along with that. Yeah. Yeah, that'll come out with it. Alright.
Yeah, Second Chronicles started verse 7.
Second Chronicles,
chapter 1,
verse 7.
Yeah.
This is Second Chronicles 1, verse 7. It says, "In that night did," let's start. get a understanding. Let's go up a little bit. I'm gonna just read on through.
You want to start at the top?
Come on. It says, verse 1, it says, and Solomon the son of David was strengthened in the kingdom, and how his power was with him, and magnified him exceedingly.
Right, because Solomon is now the king of Israel, man. He's in control. You know, he's taking the reins, man, as it was set up through the Lord.
It said, then Solomon spake unto all Israel, to the captains of thousands and of hundreds, and to the judges, and to every governor in all Israel, the chief of the fathers. So Solomon and all the congregation with him went to the high place at the that was Gibeon, for there was the tabernacle of the congregation of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua with Moses, all right, the servant of Yahweh, he made in him in the wilderness. All right, and it says, but the ark of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua had David brought up from Kirjath-jearim to the place which David had prepared for it, and had pitched a tent for it in Jerusalem. All right, and it says, moreover, the brazen altar that Bezaleel the son of Uri and the son of had made, he put before the tabernacle of Yahweh. All right, and like I said, that was at what, Gibeon. And keep going. It says, and Solomon and the congregation sought unto it, and Solomon went up thither, and the brazen altar before Yahweh, which was at the tabernacle of the congregation, and offered 1,000 burnt offerings upon it. All right. And it says, in the night did Yahweh Bashem Yahushua appear unto Solomon. Yahweh appeared unto Solomon and said unto him, ask what I shall give thee.
Right, and see, that's going into, you have to ask the Lord, man, to give you an increase of wisdom, knowledge, faith, so on and so forth, man. But you have to ask and be sincere and not wavering in what you're asking for. Got it.
It says, and Solomon said unto Yahweh, thou hast showed great mercy unto David my father, and hast made me to reign in his stead.
Right.
It said, now Yahweh power, let thy promise unto David my father be established, for thou hast made me king over a people like the dust of the earth in multitude. You all right? Because like you say, we're like the sand of the sea. All right, and he was like, let us become a king, and basically continue what my father King David did, and basically serve the people in that are the dust of the earth and multitude, like the sand of the sea.
Right. And like I say, it is that the promise was to David that his house would last forever, man. His house would be forever. You know, the house of David would be forever. The mercies of David, you know what I mean?
It says, and Yahweh, verse 10, verse 10, yeah. Give me now wisdom and knowledge, and I may go out to and come in before this people. For who can judge thy people that is so great?
And Solomon is asking for wisdom. He asking for knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So he can be a great king and a great leader of his nation, man. You know, these are the things he's asking for the Lord, and he's sure and know this is what he wants, because he wants to be able to continue on doing what his father was doing and being a leader and a king unto his people, man. That the nation of Israel shall thrive.
Hey, and what is he asking for? I want a quick precept. This is Isaiah 33:6. It says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is his treasure. All right. So he's basically asking for basically that wisdom. One thing with that wisdom comes with fear. And he said that fear, you know what I'm saying, for that wisdom and knowledge, the fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is his treasure. So he's preparing, he's setting to store his treasures up in heaven. All right, as it says, I think it's around Matthew 6. So he's storing his treasure. He's asked for the Lord to be wise among judging his people and governing and being a king over his people.
Right. And he said, like, knowledge, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time. This is something that we're applying today, man. We're gonna have to have the wisdom, understanding, knowledge of these scriptures, man, for the times that we're swiftly approaching, man. Jacob's trouble, you know, when this devil come down with that great wrath. What's that Revelation
12 and 12.
12 and 12, you know. Wisdom and knowledge, man, is gonna be the stability of that time. So we still to this day need to continue to pray and ask Yahweh Hashem Yahshua for that wisdom, so we can understand the times and things that's going on, how we need to move, the knowledge, so that, you know what I'm saying, we're not caught up in no nonsense, because we have the spirit within us, you know what I'm saying, and the faith, man. So we know that we're going to be all right. But these are the things that we have to apply today, because like the brother brought out, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. Thus said the scripture.
Yep. All right, this is back in Second Chronicles 1, verse 11. It says, and Yahweh said to Solomon, because this was in thine heart, and that thou hast not asked riches, wealth, or honor, nor the life of thine enemies, neither yet has asked long life, but has asked wisdom and knowledge for thyself, that thou mayest judge my people, over whom I have made thee king.
And that's beautiful, man, because Solomon had his people in his mind, man. Mm-hmm. He wanted to please Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. So like he wanted to please Yahweh, because Solomon was Yahushua, if you can receive it. And he wanted to be a great king to judge his people, man, through the spirit. And this is what he asked for, man. Just the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that he can be a great king, man, and do what's pleasing to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
Yep. And I want to bring out one here. This is James 3, verse 17. Get right to the point. It says, but the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruit, without partiality, all right, and without hypocrisy. All right, so when you have that wisdom from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, is pure, okay, and that's what he was asking for. All right, he was asking for that pure wisdom, all right, from the Most High, not from of this world, you know what I'm saying, within the earthly things, but wisdom from high, from up high.
That's right.
All right. So, like you said, that brought forth what? It's full of mercy and good fruit, without partiality. Okay, so it's not partial. You get the full. He wanted the full amount,
right? And
without hypocrisy. Okay, all right. So basically, receiving it, being sincere about it. All right, being humble.
That's right. I'm going to Ecclesiastes, man. Yeah, we can kind of wrap it up on this unless you got another. All right, this is a book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, Sirach and the Apocrypha. It reads, verse 1, all wisdom comes from the Lord Yahweh and is with him forever. So any wisdom you want, you actually pray for, it's coming from, like the brothers brought it, from on high, man, from the Most High. And it's with him forever. So and that's who Solomon asked for wisdom from, man, knowledge and understanding. Okay. Verse 2, who can number the sand of the sea? You mentioned it. And the drops of rain and the days of eternity.
Yeah.
Who can find out the height of heaven and the breadth of the earth and the depth of wisdom and the deep and wisdom? Wisdom has been created before all things, and the understanding of prudence for everlasting.
Yeah.
The word of the Lord Yahweh Most High is the fountain of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting commandments.
Yeah, that remind me of, like you say, if you read that at the top again, real quick.
Gun.
Who can count?
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 3. So like in verse 2, Who can number the sand of the sea and the drop of rain and the days of eternity? Who can find out the height of heaven and the breadth of the earth,
Right.
and the deep and wisdom?
Then you got to think that's how Shai sat on the right hand seat, that mercy seat. And like I said, when you say that, you can go. What is that? In when he counted the sands of the sea, and also Proverbs 30, around the fourth verse, it says, "Who has ascended and descended?" We know Yahweh Shai ascended, and he's going to be descended when he comes back and not meet thee as a man, as the scriptures say. All right, so this is going into, and when you go into Proverbs 30 and 4, I'm gonna just jump right into it real quick. It says, "Who has ascended up into heaven and descended? Who has gathered the winds in his fist? Who has bound the waters in a garment?" All right. "Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name and what is his son's name that thou canst tell?" So this is going, like you say, this is going into Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the Father, Yahweh Shai is the Son. So when you read in this, you're seeing that basically to receive wisdom, what I'm trying to get to receive wisdom, the first thing you have to receive is the name of the Father and our big brother, the only begotten Son.
That's right.
So if you don't receive that, you cannot receive this wisdom. It starts, like you say, one of the things it starts with is knowing who your deliverer is, and that's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
Come. We got one more. We can close it out on new.
Come.
Unless you got something new. This the book of, again, Ecclesiasticus, back in chapter 1, verse 18. It reads, "The fear of the Lord is a crown of wisdom, making peace and perfect health to flourish, both which are the gifts of the Most High, and it enlarges their rejoicing that love Him." And see, one of the greatest parts of wisdom that you can have is having that fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Having that fear of the Lord.
Can I bring this up real quick for you? Just mention that this is Proverbs 1:7. It says, "The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise knowledge and instructions." All right,
That's right. Because I mean, you have something. Because though there's a lot of people who will not hearken to the truth, man, who are not willing to just humble themselves and listen, man, and take it in that the Lord might sup with them. Okay, and those are fools. Those are fools. Those are the ones who you know what I'm saying, just refuse to acknowledge that there's a higher power, man, that can only be your pretty much only path you have to being delivered and saved from the destruction and the chaos that's coming.
right.
But you know what I'm saying, read it one more time, Brother Salaki.
Come. This is Proverbs 1:7. It says, "The fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is the beginning of knowledge."
And as said just in Sirach, man, the fear of the Lord is a crown of wisdom, man. That's a wise thing, just to have fear of the Lord. How can you not fear the creator of everything?
Right.
How is it you have to be a complete idiot, man, a complete ungodly person to not fear your creator.
Yep. And if you read up in the chapter, it say to verse 2, it says, "To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instructions of wisdom, justice, and the judgment and iniquity, to give subtlety and simple to the young man knowledge and discretion." And then it goes into, "A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel." And one thing in receiving that counsel, you being marked if you out there, if we on the highways and byways, because it says later on in the chapter, it says wisdom, craft in the street.
Right.
All right. And you're basically being marked when you're hearing the words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. The words coming out is how is this? Where's the mouthpiece? It's the men of the Lord. It's the prophets that are on the highways and byways.
And that goes into the parable of the sower.
Yep.
You know, those seeds that fell on stony ground, those seeds that, you know what I'm saying, went off into the thorns, those that started growing a little bit, but the sun scorched them.
Yep.
You know, those are those who, like the brother saying, you know, we on the highways, byways teaching. Some come through, just blow their horn, keep going. Some come through, might stop and listen for a minute, and they'll leave. Some say they coming back. They might come back that next week, but then they scorched off because they don't come back no more. Those are the ones that start growing in the sun scorching, man. So as the brother going into, they're just pretty much being condemned, man.
That's right.
They being marked.
Yep. They like you say, Colossians 2, around the 7th verse, rooted and built up in them. So when you establish that foundation, that root, and that strong root that basically just going to increase and grow, you know what I'm saying? You're going to grow in due time, receive that treasure and start bearing that fruit. You know, the ones that's moving and wavering, they're going to basically wither away in due time.
I want to break out this one more. We'll be close after this, bro.
Come.
You can break it down, bro. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, starting verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock.
Hey, and you hear these things, like you say, and receive them and do with them. Don't just hear it, like you say, and we just said, and just keep going and blow your horn and keep doing what you're doing. When you hear them, that means you take heed to it and you start receiving the word and you start basically becoming that new man. And that's through what? Wisdom. All right? Being wise about it.
What's that in James? James 1, I think. Don't be just hearers only, but doers of the word.
Right.
Roughly paraphrase. Back in Matthew chapter 7, verse 25. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And who's our rock?
Yahushua.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
And we believe in Habashim Yahushua, and this is where our service lies. This is what we believe in, and we're doing what we have to do to please Habashim Yahushua, because they're our foundation. They're our rock. They're that strong tower. The brother went to the names. You know, those whose name we call to, that we go to for refuge, man. Okay? We'll say to run to it and be saved.
Run to him.
The names of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous shall run to it and be saved. Roughly paraphrase. You know, that's likened to that house built on a rock, man.
It's Proverbs 18.
Come. All right, verse 26. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man.
Hey, and everyone is hearing these things. All right, you can't see because we're on the like I say, the internet. We always on the highways and byways. You can see account probably in the concourse places that you go to in your states, or you know what I'm saying, through the cities. So you're gonna hear this word. You're gonna cross this word. All right, and you can either hear or forbear, or however you want to save it. If you don't want to receive it, then you've heard the word.
Unto a foolish man which built his house upon sand, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it.
Great was the fall of it. So that means you wasn't rooted and built up in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right, just like Christians feel like, hey, I know my God and I know this, but what manner of man will you be when these prophecies really hit, these end time prophecies? All right, are you going to be a rooted and built up and basically, because the thing is, you got to get to a point where you're going to die for this thing, you know, or what? Because you got to be wise to know that if you receive that MOT to the B, you're marking yourself for death. All right, and we talking to you so-called Black, Latinos, Native Americans, and if you receive it, like you say, if you're a Israelite throughout, you know, scattered throughout among these other nations, you got to hear or forbear. If you don't receive it, then you're gonna take this word and just lay it down. Then it's gonna bring forth death. That's what we're trying to let you know out here, that if you don't be wise to take heed to this word and basically become and changing your ways, and basically Micah 2:10, as it says, come out of this world, come out of the philosophies and things of this world, because the world was given to the hands of the wicked.
That's right, Joel 9:24.
If you don't receive this word, you're gonna be receiving death. It's only you can't straddle the fence. You know what I'm saying? Wavering. You can't straddle the fence. Thinking this grass is green on this side and jump on the other side. What's this gonna lead to? It's gonna lead to death.
Right.
That's just to put the nail in the coffin. Life or death. All right. Receive salvation, because it say wisdom and knowledge, stability of our time. All right, strength of our salvation, being wise about what's coming and what you have to do to get prepared for the day of the Lord.
That's right. That's all I got, bro.
Yeah, same here.
So, hey, Lord willing, you brothers was edified. Want to give all honor, praise, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honor to our apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Shalom.